To all of our faith, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV, Orlando Pirates fan channel. Yes, I am your host, Mr. KB, and this is your Orlando Pirates latest news and transfer rumors. So we are going to go through a couple of stories that are coming out in the news. The hem season is in full force. Yes, we're going to talk about the Moremi transfer update. We are going to talk about a warning for Saleng coming from a supposed Buccaneer legend. Apparently, there have been rankings that have come out in the past couple of days, and we are, apparently one of the best ever in Africa. And in South Africa as Orlando Pirates, of course. And apparently Rulani and Muana is looking for a certain player, and apparently that has something to do with us because Rulani wants to come to Bucks and we want him. Apparently, you know how the hems go. I am joined by Mr. Mashiloane for this Buccaneer Brief show. So yeah, I hope everybody does not want to miss any of those updates. What's it? I'm fit to Coach Ara, Mr. Mashiloane, what's happening, dog?
Shout out, man. Always good to be part of the channel. What's up to all my Buccaneer? We're just here to unpack everything that is, coming in on each day. So, look, there's a lot of news that we're trying to unpack, but let's get into it, man. Hey, we're here now.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going through ish. This winter's coming with the cough. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure you are waking up every day saying Coach Ara, Coach Ara. You go on the news and you find things like this. When last did you hear or think about Saleng, especially when you're thinking about signings? When last did you think about Saleng? More news about him now in this past weekend.
Look, Saleng is at the back of my mind all the time. He's one of the players that I won't lie, I still miss seeing on the pitch. One of the players that was promising, and I thought if he had carried on without all these sagas that were going around, he would have had a very wonderful season. Saleng is at the back of my mind is what I'm trying to say, and I think everyone, when we think about replacing him, it touches us, but somehow such things happen. We let go of players that were really, one sentimental to us and played a vital role in the game of football for us. But look, the talks about Saleng, he's been MIA, but there are rumors that have come out about him.
Let me read the article. And you know what? So, you know what I want? Yeah? I would like you to imagine which legend could this be, because I read this article once or twice and I'm like, who could this be and why are they holding his name back? So let me just get into the article and then we can unpack further, ladies and gentlemen. So coming from Kick-Off, they're saying there is a pirate stalwart saying as a headline, there's so much to lose for Saleng. And they start like this: with Saleng's future at Pirates uncertain, a former Buccaneer legend has offered the left-footed attacker some advice. Even though the alleged contractual saga involving Saleng and Pirates dragged on for long, there was hope that the issue could have been resolved finally after the 27-year-old was rumored to be back in training towards the end of the season. Hey, you remember those rumors? So the former Free State Stars forward, however, seems to be facing an uncertain future. Last featuring for the Mighty Bucks in December. There have been rumors that the Bafana forward has signed a pre-contract with Chiefs. Imagine that. However, a former Buccaneer with a vast experience in the PSL, he suggested a move away from Pirates to clubs locally for Saleng is unlikely to happen. And then they quote, the difficulty he will experience when you're in breach of contract. The teams will blacklist you. There's a collective bargaining of PSL teams. Yeah, this is teams. So the management teams, the chairman and CEOs of teams that work together on other transfers and other players, they work together basically. So if they blacklist you, they say this one or this management team, Banban is problematic. So yeah, that will impact you once they label you like that. And you know how short a football career is. The Pirates legend said, "You don't play for 6 months and you don't know what's going to happen this coming season. If the impasse continues, he doesn't play. He's not getting fit and he's not getting any younger. The longer he continues without playing, the more adverse it adds onto the career. Chances of going to AFCON are diminishing and there's just so much to lose for the player," said the ex-Bucks legend. So his advice to Saleng is just to play him fit. He's like, just play him fit. Take it on the chin, even though you may feel cheated. And when the time is right, you can maybe negotiate better next time. Put up a fight and negotiate a better deal. So basically, the moral of the story there is, Saleng, you're not getting any younger. You are getting tournaments passing you by. And yeah, your career is going to end with the label of you are being problematic. So, Fitz, which legend do you think would come out with a statement like that? Maybe it has come out somewhere else who said it, but so far, Nax Clinics.
I don't know, but I think I don't know exactly who it might be. I'm having speculations in my head. Obviously, right now we're dealing with spec. There's nothing that's coming out straightforward and giving us the correct information, which makes it difficult for us. But to think about who would give him such an advice, and for me, I think Cheese Boy, Lebham Mugwena, might have been the one that approached him in this. He could be. I think let's look at. He's a legend for Paris. Number one, he ended his football career at a fairly late stage. You know, as expected for most soccer players to lost. Number two, he's had an experience with big clubs, and he basically has had a period where he had fallen off from the PSL, but was able to come back up with the Swallows. And I think with that type of mentality, I think he's the type of player that would go back down to these younger boys to say, you know what, don't make the wrong choices at such a crucial time of your career. Rather, make sure that you're getting enough game time. If not the contractual things coming into place, but make sure that you are playing to stay fit. And I mean, with the type of player Saleng is, he's a player that could fairly go an extra 2-3 seasons, doing fairly well and being competitive. So that's another speculation that we are dealing with. But that's what I would like to think might have been the person that went to him and spoke to him about this.
Yeah, also because I think he's also one of the people who have cared the most in terms of what we hear from social media and the likes when you think about the story. So okay, I think that's a good shout. For me, my thing is, okay, it is who it is, but why does it have to be a secret? I think that's the part for me that kills me. Like, okay, so why does it actually have to be? Okay, I understand Orlando Pirates themselves as a club being secretive because we know them for that. But now this is just a story coming from a newspaper. So, hey, with Pirates, people are afraid to get blacklisted with Pirates. So sometimes they even, man. But, for his career, I really do hope he at least finds something that can... that can sustain him, because I would hate for such a player to end up like, like those statistics of players when we say, they used to, but now they're in drama and all of that stuff. So, yeah. But, let's get on to the next story here. Moremi, Tshepang Moremi. That has been the name on everybody's lips in terms of Orlando Pirates. I actually like how fast things are moving in this deal, because there's been way more player names that we've been talking about. But this one, 1 week, hey, he's linked. The next week, okay, the deal is closed. So let me just read it out over here. I think I'm having trouble just displaying the article, but then I will read it out for everybody. This is the Moremi transfer. Apparently, it is a very, very close deal. They are just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on the contract. Orlando Pirates are in the final stages of concluding a deal for Bafana wing Tshepang Moremi for the 25-26 Betway season. By the way, this is coming from farpost.co.za. Pirates have made contact with Amazulu FC for the transfer of Moremi, who was one of the outstanding attackers in the PSL last season. The left footer displayed his explosive pace and skill to eliminate defenders, which made him one of the most talked about players in the league. In the previous season, Moremi featured in 31 matches in all competitions, scored 4 goals, and provided 7 assists for Amazulu. The 24-year-old was instrumental in the KZN-based side, finishing 6th on the league table, above Chiefs, by the way, to qualify for next season's MTN8. After his impressive showing, Moremi earned a Bafana call up, and he was part of Bruce's team that made and played international friendlies against Tanzania and Mozambique, having proven his attacking qualities in the colors of Usu. The skillful winger will likely play his football at Pirates in the upcoming campaign. So then they just go on to explain his profile. They just say he's comfortable both on the left and right. If you haven't seen much of him. So yes, this is not the first time actually on the Buccaneer Brief we talk about him. Like I said, the last time we were just talking about the link and fast skill. But no. The deal is closed. Let me just see if they actually say anything that is specific to say how close it is. They don't outline it like that, but then the whole article is about it's almost done. A winger, Mr. Coach is always talking about Mufokeng might leave. How do you feel about a winger signing 24 years old?
Look, I actually got to kind of do a bit of research in terms of looking at the type of player he is. He's very exciting. He looks like the type of player that would do more for Pirates in terms of attack. We've had positions where or times where it was a bit tough for us to make a substitute or the right substitute. Somebody was going to make things different for Pirates. Somebody was going to make somebody's going to come off from the bench and, help us attack. So
impact.
He has, for me, a player that I'm looking forward towards seeing, especially when the likes of Relebogile Mofokeng isn't there. Who do we then have? Nkota is not there. Saleng is not there. Who do we have? Having to have a player like that, with the attacking ability that he has, he's skillful and he's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do for us.
Yeah, dope. And, with every signing, we always have to think about the fact that Yazin, it's not this coach that's coming in that's making these signings, but with the business that we've done thus far, this transfer season, are you optimistic about how we are signing, especially knowing that we are signing just quality? Because when you don't have a coach, you can only just make sure at least you get quality. So you're satisfied with our business so far?
Well, look, the players that are coming in for me are really exciting. Now it comes to say who's going to sit bench, who's going to be in the starting lineup. I enjoy a team when they bring in. I'm very much fond of the attacking type of system in a team. Pirates is one of those teams that where we play very exciting football. Having these players come in, it just comes to say at least when we don't have when our plan A is not working, we can have a plan B system that might work for us. So the players that are coming in, the likes of Moremi, since he's one of the players that we're talking about right now, he's a player that I'm looking forward to. When Tito's not there, who do we have? If Shenko is not performing, who do we have? He coming in. I'm really excited to see what creativity he can bring into Pirates. But another thing is that we apart from looking at exciting football, it's about scoring goals. And he is a player that I believe with the players that he will be surrounded with, he'll have a lot of chances and creating goals for us.
All right then. We shall wait for him to officially sign and officially put on a jersey number. Looking forward to seeing him. Deal looking very close, guys. It is final talks. They are just apparently the way they put it, they put it in a very South African way. They're saying no. They are just finding each other. Amazulu and Pirates are finding each other in the deal. So it means, yeah, the negotiations are going very smoothly. It's just about what will you accept and how shiny is my present for you. Okay, so for me, those are the real stories for the day. But you know, the hems never stop in the world of football, and so I just wanted to give an update for those who didn't know. It's not a new news story, but Orlando Pirates are top of the South African teams in the IFFHS world rankings. So it's a top 10 ranking of African clubs. Number 1 being Pyramids FC. Number 2, let me just check. Number 2 being Al Ahly. Number 3, Zamalek. Number 4, RS Berkane. Number 5, Orlando Pirates. And all the way down at number 9 is Mamelodi Sundowns. I just felt like this would be a platform to just announce that as an announcement. Apologies for not being able to put the things on the screen, but yeah, guys, we are still up there, Buffet. They're not first in everything.
I'm a huge Pirates fan. I love Pirates with my life. I think if we're talking about teams that performed really well, I would say yes, we could be placed at number 1. I mean, for most improved, for most competitive, yes. But our stats and numbers are they literally that accurate that we are number 1? I'd somehow like to disagree. I'd like to say we have been the most challenging and
you know what I'm calling them? You know what they call themselves? Is the International Federation of Football History and Statistics. Whenever we are number 1 in South Africa, I believe them. I believe them.
That. Yeah, I think we've been the number 1 unpredictable team.
Mama can beat anyone on our day.
We can beat anyone on our day, but anyone also had a chance to, with confidence and the right mentality, beat us. I mean,
if Sundowns is the best, look what they had to do in order to beat us this season in the league.
Yeah,
they had to resort to dirty tactics on the pitch. But yeah, no, that was honestly, just a throwaway story. Yeah, Sundowns, and then you're gonna go into the last honestly, story now. Yeah,
we've also been. I think why put in that bracket? I think it's also because we had very young players that were optimistic, and the players that you wouldn't really tell that they could, raise their hands up to perform and do well at high stages. So for that, maybe, and the fact that the players that we had weren't of first choice in their previous teams, but when they came to us, they became, known. They stood out. They did their best job for that. On that fact, yes, I can say that. But
number 1 diamond in the rough. Number 1 diamonds in the rough. No, that was just 1 for bragging rights, Buffet, 2 for youth day bragging rights. But that's how it is. At least we are number 1 or something. So now, I'm almost embarrassed to actually talk about this because it's a story coming from goal.com saying Rulani and Muana identifies another Bafana star that has impressed him amid Orlando Pirates return rumors. Do you hear how that headline comes out? Rulani and Muana identifies another Bafana star that has impressed him amid Orlando Pirates return rumors. Which means if there were no rumors about him returning, then he wouldn't have been impressed by that guy? Or am I reading it wrong, or am I the slow one here? But anyway, let me just read the whole thing. But yeah, it just sounds like news for news purposes. He's a player that interests me. They are talking about a player called Muana. So basically, former Wydad Casablanca head coach Muana has praised the progress of Esperance forward Elias Muana. Muana has said that Bafana call-up has huge potential. Mukwena has said, yeah, the call-up player has, he has got huge potential and he can develop to be a top player. He added that he has been following the forward and is impressed by his performances so far. He's a player that interests me. He has a lot of good weapons to develop into a top player, and he has really grown in North Africa over the last few months. With the few games I've watched, he has really impressed me. So apparently he says he settled well, and the good thing is that he's playing with a very talented group. So the former Sundowns coach also identified what Muana. I've identified that Muana is a threat to defenders, something that has played to Esperance's advantage. I wonder how much they've used him, actually. I want to actually check him out. And Elias adds more speed and directness to their attack, and this makes Esperance more powerful during transitions. So it'll be interesting to see him at the level of the Club World Cup's intensity. That's actually, I guess he's one to watch, one to scout. The experience for him will also help him become a much better player, and Bafana will have much stronger options. He has great potential and skill. And then they say, since he moved to Tunisia, he has developed into a reliable player for CAF Champions League winners. And yeah, he joined last season, went on to win the league, playing a crucial role in 25 games. He managed 3 goals and 2 assists in the league and featured in 8 games in the Champions League. Meanwhile, Mukwena has been linked with Orlando Pirates. That's right, I'm a Buccaneer. And since he is a free agent, it makes the speculation even more plausible. You know, when I got to that part of the article, I was like, oh my goodness. But it makes the speculation even more plausible. I mean, goodness gracious me. You know, when you're looking for a coach in Fitsu, I feel like if we had a coach or if we had a stronger link to somebody else, I'd be like, why are they still talking about Rulani? But we are forced to say, but what are they saying about Rulani and Pirates? And then you find this. But I think the positive thing maybe is for Hugo Bros. We don't have a coach. So I can't even say whether our coach or whoever could use him well or not. But as you heard, Esperance, he played a good, decent role last season. Young South African attacker. Where are you with the Rulani rumor? And are you willing to scout this Muana?
Hi, where I am with the Rulani rumor. It's very much very confusing for me because I'm not sure if these journalists are just writing according to what they're just taking. Also, for me, it's just opinions of what they think someone of his caliber might have to say about certain players. Like I say, right now, there's nothing that I'm going to say that I'm really taking in and saying I believe at this stage. Everything is just rumors and people are just saying what they have to say. What do you think? What do you think?
Like I said, man, I see Rulani, I see Pirates, I say is a development. I see a player, Muana, on the same day that we are saying done deal for another winger. That means they ate my data. They ate my data, these people. Okay, maybe they gave me somebody to scout, but largely I feel like my data has been eaten. Yeah, that's my full opinion. I feel like he's somebody to scout, maybe for Hugo Bros to give some advice to Hugo or to know whether we are doing well in the national team. But for Orlando Pirates right now, he's only linked because there's a rumor about Namukwena. So I feel like, like I said, It was a data stealer, Chief. Yeah. So, Mfethu, that is the final story for Vandag, Mfethu. That was the Buccaneer Brief. Mr. Mafelong, what do you hope for our transfer future going forward? Arena midfield, Mfethu.
Look, number one, for now, I'm happy with the players that we have. I'm happy with the young squad that we've been able to produce. Right now, looking for the only thing that I'm actually quite looking forward to in terms of the future of the new signings is to get a bit of some experience. I'm not saying really old players, but middle-aged players to come in that have actually won something, you know. The signings that we're kind of doing right now, they've been really exciting in terms of the skill. I don't like the fact that we always looking for exciting players, but we should somehow also look at stable players that will stabilize the team, that will hold the stability and will be able to hold even the younger boys going forward. So for going forward into the transfer season market, basically, I'm looking for experienced.
You want you want winners, ne?
Yes.
You want winners. You want winners.
I want winners.
You've had enough people of the Cocomelon kind that are under 30. You need a 29-year-old Nduli and going forward.
28, you know, I don't want to mention specific names. But I want players that are going to come in that have won something for their clubs, have maintained those type winning streak. Players that have also went into their clubs and have had or held it down to get them to the positions that they. I don't want to mention names. That's why I'm saying all of this, because I'm also just going to be speculating, and it will be coming from a point of who I like to see at Pirates. But we'll leave it to Buccaneer to do that. But
fantasies.
I don't want to sell any fantasies. All I'm just saying is let's stop going for exciting, too much exciting, too much dribbling, too much fun. Let's go for how are we gonna hold? Who's gonna hold this team down for us? You know, one of them we mentioned, Nduli. I think I'm excited to see him in the middle, coming in and showing his experience. That's one of the players that I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah. More of the same you would like. Fede, let me read the comments and then we shall wrap it up. Thank you very much, Buccaneer, for tuning in for this brief. So, Rulani says, happy people, Tanko, Moremi, welcome home. And then Ulunga says, Kim Vidi leaving to Simba. I did hear something about this whole Kim Vidi leaving to Simba thing. Let's get on to it. We'll do it in tomorrow's brief, and then a swap deal for a Simba player. Thank you. I did see that, Lunga. Thank you very much for reminding us. And then Buccaneers United says, I'm still mad at Pirates for the Saleng issue. Are you mad at Saleng or are you mad at Pirates? Yeah, that's the issue with that story. And then Mulunga completes it by saying this whole Mokwana story into Engeko, and I agree fully. Yeah, like I said, thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to do it in the afternoon tomorrow, the Buccaneer Brief. Hopefully we wake up with the coach. I get to Mr. Mafelo.
The way coach is always here, I fit.
Yeah.
I had to step in. It's Kanglebala, I'm fit. But Pachayet Mapagania, don't forget me. This is my fellow. What's in always.
Away. Yeah, no. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Like I said, if you have not, let me just give you a to-do list before you say bye-bye. That is hitting the like. Subscribe if you are new so you can be notified for the next show. And please continue to share Namapagane so we can grow this community and tell each other about these Kim Vudi stories and remind each other that, hey, the Hem season is in full force. Tanko!
All about faith.